What's going on YouTube? Adrian here with another video. So today we're going to be talking about off-camera flash. This is going to be step by step what I'm doing when I'm using off-camera flash. So maybe you're new to off-camera flash, or maybe you've been using it for a while and your photos aren't looking right. I'm going to be explaining all my tips and tricks to help you get better at off-camera flash. So stay tuned. And I'm also going to be throwing a bonus in at the end. So I'm going to be telling you about high-speed sync, which is something that, trust me, you want to know this if you use off-camera flash. So I will be explaining that at the end of this video, so make sure you watch all the way through to get that bonus tip. Alright, so for those of you who are new to the channel, my name is Adrian. I'm a wedding and portrait photographer, and on my channel I talk about photography tips and tricks and tutorials. So if you're interested in that type of content, be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you won't miss any videos. So the first tip I have for y'all is you want to get the correct exposure with your ambient before you even introduce your light. So when I'm saying ambient, I'm talking about the background of your photos. So with your settings, you're going to be setting them just for the background because you're actually going to be exposing your subject with the light. Even if your subject is looking dark, that's okay, because once you introduce the off-camera flash, that's going to properly expose your subject. When you're exposing for your ambient, you want to think about what type of shot you're trying to create. You know, maybe you're going for more a moodier vibe, so you want a darker ambient, or maybe you want the ambient completely blacked out, or maybe you just want it, you know, where you could see everything in the background. So this kind of is what I'm thinking when I'm exposing for my ambient, and then I set my settings according to what type of look I'm going for with that shot. So if you have a Sony camera, I shoot with the Sony A7 III. It has a custom setting that you can use. It's called Shot Result Preview. Now this is something I've been using it for about 6 months. I had no idea about it. I think I learned it from Manny Ortiz. He has a great channel, so I highly recommend checking him out. But with this custom setting, what you can do is if you press it, so I have it set to my C3 button. So if I press this button, I can see just the exposure for the background, so it really helps out. All right, so with this second tip, we're going to be talking about where do you need to place your light. I know a lot of people are probably wondering, where do I put my light? Do I need to have it far away? Do I need to have it up close? So I'm going to be helping y'all out with that. So when I'm shooting off camera flash, I like to feather my light. So what that is let's say I have my subject in the middle. I like to feather my light to the left or to the right, depending on where my subject is facing, and depending on other things, where the backlight is coming from. Just a lot of different things, but I always feather my light slightly to the left or slightly to the right. So the reason I like to feather my light is because it produces a nice fall off, just the way the light falls off the subject. I really like how it looks when you feather that light slightly to the left or right, and also it produces nice shadows and just more like a dramatic type portrait. When you feather that light, you get some nice shadows in the face, which I really like with my photos. So with your light placement, just think about where you want that light to come from and how you want it to look on your subject, and make adjustments from there. Maybe you don't like to feather your light. I'm not saying that you have to do that, because I know some people, they shoot straight up, so the light is like right beside them or even behind them. I personally like to put my light to the left or to the right. I don't like to shoot straight up, but if that's what you want to do, try it out and see how it looks. When it comes to placement, I usually just play around with it to see what looks best. I keep taking test shots until I like the look of what I'm getting with my camera, and then I just roll with it. And also when it comes to my light placement, I like to keep my light as close to my subject as possible. And the reason I like to do this is because it produces a softer light. So the further you pull away the light, I feel like the less soft it is. So I like to get my light as close as I can. And I know you're probably wondering, what if I'm shooting a wide shot and obviously your light is going to be in the frame. So what you could do then is just erase the light in post, because I still like to keep that light close to my subjects because I feel like it produces the most flattering light. But if you're someone who shoots wide portraits, or maybe you're wondering how you get that light out of the picture when you're shooting wide, I actually made a video about that. I'm going to link it in the card up here, so check out that video. All right, so the third tip I have for y'all is to just take test shots and adjust when needed. So when you're using off-camera flash, you're probably going to have to take so a good amount of test shots before you get your light perfect. You're probably not going to get it perfect on that first shot. So I recommend just taking test shots. So I'll pretty much just tell my client, I'm just taking a test shot right here. So I'll usually take, maybe 3 test shots until I get my light perfect, and then I move on from there, because you definitely don't want to rush it and risk your photos not looking right just because you're trying to be fast. So take your time, take those test shots. If you don't like what you're seeing with your camera, then just adjust take more test shots until you get your light right, and then once you get it right, just go with it. Alright, so now for the bonus tip that I promised y'all, we're going to talk about high-speed sync. So you're probably wondering, what the heck is high-speed sync? First off, you want to make sure that your camera and your flash can shoot high-speed sync. High-speed sync is pretty much when you can shoot above your camera's max sync limit with your flash. So with the Sony a7 III, the max sync limit as far as, you know, getting the flash to work properly with my camera is 1/250th of a second. So when I have high-speed sync enabled, I can shoot above that. I can shoot a 1/8000th if I want, just anything above 1/250th of a second, which is my shutter speed. Now, I personally use high-speed sync a lot. We shoot in harsh daylight, so high-speed sync comes in handy when you're shooting in super bright conditions and, you know, you have to bring that shutter down because it's just so bright. You don't want a blown out background. So this is when high-speed sync can come in handy. And also, if you're shooting wide open, let's say you're shooting at 1.8, obviously, you know, that's a big aperture, so you're letting in a lot of light. So you're gonna have to adjust your shutter speed to bring down the ambient, which is the background light. So this is when high-speed sync can really help you out. So if you're completely new to off-camera flash, you have no idea what to do, I have a video that can help you out. It's called How to Set Up Your Off-Camera Flash. So in that video, I'm talking about all these flashes that I use. I talk about, you know, the difference between them. I'm talking about triggers, which you're gonna need if you're shooting high-speed sync. So I'm going over all that in this video. I'm gonna link it in the description below, and I'm also gonna place it in the card up top. So make sure you check out that video. I have a question for y'all. I wanna know, what are your struggles with using off-camera flash? Or maybe you're trying to get in off-camera flash and you just have some questions about it. I wanna know, drop them in the comments. Let me know what your struggles are. Let me know what any questions you have about off-camera flash, and I'll answer them in the comments below. Be sure to leave a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video. Subscribe to my channel. I post new videos every week. I will see y'all in my next video. Peace.